Hi, friends. Happy June. Man, what a month May was. I am coming down with some type of cold. I thought I had allergies, and then it turned into a cough, and now my lungs are just hurting. But I wanted to get on and share the space and the experiences that I've been having. So a long time ago, I asked God and Jesus to tell me the story. I asked God to tell me what I needed to know about the laws of the universe, energy, Jesus' story. And every once in a while, something comes across my path that is another like piece to the puzzle. And I have a friend who sent me a book in the mail. She was telling me about this book, and the next thing I know, it shows up at my office mailbox. And the book is called The Untethered Soul. It's by Michael Singer. And I have to say, I got the book and I had put it away for a little bit because I was just in the middle of doing some things. And then Memorial Day weekend came and the weather wasn't going to be that great. And I was just kind of sitting there on the couch thinking, what am I going to do this weekend? I did not want to sit in front of the TV. And the first thing that came to mind was the book that my friend sent me. So I went where I had put it and I took it out and I just started reading it. And I'll tell you, at the point that I am in my life right now, I needed this book so much. I get a lot of information that I channel through sessions with clients. I see so many things from a different perspective, from a spiritual perspective. And I've been in this space of writing a lot of things down, but not knowing how to make sense of it or putting it all together. So, what I've uncovered with reading this book is that despite being a spiritual person, despite doing this work for a living and coaching clients and guiding them, working with them, one of the things that I realized recently was that I've been battling with myself. And as I look back, I'm realizing that a lot of us have been battling with ourselves. We're in this space of a self-care, self-love movement to the point where we're now being forced to take action. And the topic of self-care and self-love, I think, has just been beat to death. But we're coming into a space where the energy needs to be transformed. And it really needs to start with like our hearts, our physical bodies. And I look back and I see that I've been in pain for so long, physical pain. I injured my back last year, the beginning of last year, and I just kept pushing through it. That strong part of me kept saying like, you can do it. You can, well, I have to say, not the strong part of me, the ego part of me kept saying, you can do it. You can push through it. It's going to heal itself. You've got to keep going. You've got to work. You can't rest. You've got to exercise. You've got to lose weight. Like all these thoughts that I had no idea I was thinking. Like I was just living these thoughts and just recreating experiences of pulling my back out, being in pain. And the last year and a half has been me facing pain, um, being vulnerable and exploring emotions. I say so often about me being a triple cancer, how, I know I chose coming into this lifetime to learn to work through emotions and feel them out. But reading this book, it made me realize that I've been afraid of emotions for so long. And I've been on this yo yo of it all spilling out and then holding it in, and it's spilling out and holding it in. And now, I've worked with a therapist, I've read many books, I've studied with so many teachers and mentors, but for me, it was something that I had to figure out on my own. I guess all the pieces are finally, coming into, like coming together. And I I'm done. I'm done battling myself. I'm done trying to figure everything out. Done trying to make things work. And I feel like I've been in this place of flow. And like I said, this book kind of put all the pieces together. And I was asking God the other day. So I teach for a group that has transformed into really just men. It was a mixed group of men and women, but over time it's become men. And so every week I work with this group, and I want to say there may be about 13 of them now. And I was sitting in meditation before the class the other day, and I was asking God, what can I say to them? How can I reach them? What do they need to know about you? And the image that came to mind was a river and a person on a kayak or canoe in the river, going downstream, enjoying the flow. And then it kind of turned into like a lazy river. Again, once again, going with the flow. And I realized that, God was kind of trying to show me that when I am in the flow, going down the river, I'm working with God and what He has for me and trusting in the process. And if you've ever been kayaking or you've ever been whitewater rafting or canoeing or even on a lazy river, it has its own pathway. And there really is no like steering the ship. You're going with the flow of the current. And then I got another image of Finding Nemo and the turtles. And I don't know the exact details, but I know the feeling into it is that the idea was when the turtles needed to move on, whether the season was changing or something, there was a current, and I don't know the specific terminology. There was a current that they jump into and they follow. And if you remember, Nemo and Dory followed them in this current that took them where they needed to be. And I keep getting this idea that God wants me to do that and wants me to teach people how to naturally jump into the current and into the flow and let Him guide the ship. And with that idea, I also know that I have to strengthen my belief systems. Do I believe that God is going to provide for me? Do I believe that God has my best interest? Do I believe that God is going to show me the way? And I have to say, in my work, in my business, in what I do that I'm passionate about, absolutely 100%. But when it comes to me personally and my growth personally and wanting a family and wanting a home and children and being in this space and it not being here yet, of course, all this stuff is stirred up as we drop into June, which is my birthday month, which means I will be another year older. Yay, more wiser and more knowledgeable, but also too, it stirs up a lot of thing about age and growth. And so this visual of this go with the flow energy has been so powerful and it seems so easy. That current in Finding Nemo, there's water that's complacent and still all around it, but then there's this current that flows through it that the turtles jump in. And so for me, I realized that, I have to get myself in that natural flow. And basically, it's working on my belief system, strengthening my core foundation, working with people that I enjoy and trust, and being open to being vulnerable and support is a big part of that, moving in that process. So, um, And then the adverse of that is when I'm not in the flow with God. It's like I've turned around the boat or the kayak or the canoe and I'm paddling upstream, resisting. And I'm tired. I've been doing that unconsciously for so long. And I have to say, I think it's important for me to share things like this and even admit it, to realize, to know that, um, I'm in this work, I'm in this field of working with God and the angels, and I only know a tiny fraction of what is out there and what's available. So I just keep listening. And that has been, again, The Untethered Soul, another book that has opened a lot for me. And in this way of knowing on some level that I've been battling, that I've been tired and depleted, that I've been searching and looking and knowing I'm in a period of growth, but not knowing what the next step is. This book for me is the action. It is the information that's helping me navigate my way through this next phase for me of growth, and whatever areas that means. And I have to say, I think that's one of the things that God wanted me to share with this group, and I did. And it was interesting because I started talking to them about a topic. I kind of got off tangent. And then at the end of the group, I have them pull a card, an affirmation card. And I always intend that it be for their best and highest good. And then what we do is we go around the room and each one of them says the words on the card, and then they say the affirmation loud and proud. And then we have 5 minutes at the end where we sit in meditation and kind of reflect on the experience. And as they were pulling it, I always pull a card with them. And the card that I pulled was Go with the Flow. And I laughed and said, Oh my God. I said, I was on my way here this morning. I was talking to God and asking him, what do I talk about today? And I admitted that I kind of forgot about it, and that God in that moment was reminding me that I had a topic to talk about, that I had to share with them about the flow and the current. So I started to talk to them about it towards the end, but I will go into it more in depth. But I also think it's important because I want to share it with you as well. And so anytime you're feeling tired and depleted and drained or frustrated or confused or scared or worried, just imagine yourself in that kayak, that boat, that lazy river raft, turning your energy around and going with the flow, opening up your heart and your mind to God and that high vibration of unconditional love, and asking Him for assistance on your journey, asking Him to guide you, support you, protect you. And, I know I have a lot more things coming up. I have so many ideas that are running through my head. I got a journal that I'm journaling all this information, but I can't possibly do it all at once. I know that I need to have patience with the process. And I think it's so amazing that just in the nick of time, because of course, God is never early, He's never late, He's always right on time, and not our time necessarily, His time. Right in the nick of time, that book came to me. And again, I'm in the process of moving through another growth spurt. And growing for me can be, and for so many of us, can be scary because it represents change. And the world that we know is going to need to change. And that's part of the process. That's part of the more you want, the more things need to shift and change. So we're in this transformation. We're in this space where so many of us are getting to the root of growth and self-love and self-care, and actually facing the fear, facing the pain, and taking the action step by step to get to where we want to be. And really, it's not necessarily knowing where you're going, and more of knowing how you want to feel. I want to move into this space of feeling, adventure, play, laughter, fun, and freedom by being able to comfort, support, teach and inspire people, whether it's clients, whether it's friends, whether it's myself. I want to move into that space of no longer needing to fix and save and change and make better. And I swear that's the caregiver way. And if I'm not mindful, I fall right back into that place and I pull myself outside of myself and I manifest or create or bring in people, places, things, and ideas that are going to show me that I've fallen out of flow, that I've turned the boat around and I'm paddling upstream. Or, like I said, the turtle's in the current. So I just ask you maybe for, this next week, be mindful. Be mindful of how you're feeling. Be mindful of your body. So much of our self and self-care is working on our body. Now I realized that I couldn't how do I say this? I needed support to heal my body. And I couldn't do it on my own because I didn't have the right knowledge and wisdom and know-how to heal my body. I've had lower back issues for a very long time, and I would keep pushing myself, over exercising, thinking I'm better and not being better and pulling my back out. And I have to say, I asked God to send me the right people, places, things, and ideas that could help me on my journey. And I also have to remember it is a process and it isn't going to be a quick fix. And I've been burning out my body for a long time and pushing myself. And so I feel like so many of us are moving into this place of pain and really needing to face it, but also too being able to work with others and support, whether it's mental pain, whether it's emotional pain, physical pain. And remember, pain is an opportunity for you to make change and to grow. And instead of ignoring my body, I've now for the last couple months been listening to it. And because I'm feeling so much better, other things are popping up. And I have to say, I feel like I'm in a really good space and happy with where I'm going. And always trying to be mindful of staying in a good space where I am learning. And from there, I'm able to teach. And from there, I'm able to make changes. And from there, I'm able to grow. And I don't know where I'm going. And I don't know what the next steps are for me. And I don't even know where I'm going to be 6 months from now. But I'm tired of being tired. Maybe you're tired of being tired. And maybe that's why I'm sharing this for the month of June. But I have to say, the beautiful thing is I'm excited about it. For me, it's not a negative thing. It's a big aha moment. And I'm excited for this new knowledge and wisdom that I have. I'm excited to be able to share it with my clients and my friends and on my podcast and with my YouTube friends. And I feel like my journey has been a mirror for so many people. So I'm tired of being tired. I'm in good space about it. I'm aware that I've been battling, and now I know how to make changes. And so, again, it's as simple as looking up, asking God for assistance, and then really turning that boat around, that kayak, that raft, and traveling downstream. So my new mantra is, girl, go with the flow, because everything works out well for me. And anytime I recognize that I'm in that monkey brain or that maniac mind, I just pause and I observe it instead of beating myself about it. I recognize it and I say, girl, go with the flow, because everything works out well for you. So if that's an affirmation that you can use to help you, and know that this contrast, adversity, and challenges is such a beautiful thing. There's so many blessings in it. If you can really just take a few deep breaths and relax into it, knowing that everything works out well for you when you're going with the flow, And again, it might even be the experience of learning how to do that. But if you open up to receive um, support from God and his armies of angels, he'll show you how. So if I can be of assistance, if I can support you in some way, it's so easy to book an appointment online. I do spiritual life coaching. I do work with life purpose. I help people connect with their loved ones. So if I can be part of your journey, there is the link below to be able to support you. You can book an appointment online anytime. And I also want to share what's coming up for June. So I have the Reiki 2 training coming up on June 9th. And if you're ready to advance your knowledge and wisdom in Reiki, I'm excited to be teaching this class. There are still a few more spots left. And I have to say, Reiki 2 is one of my favorites. This is where students learn 3 sacred symbols, one of those being distant healing. So we practice and play with that energy. And then also too, I have a group guided past life regression meditation coming up. That will be on Wednesday, June 13th, and it will start at 6:30, and it will be at Thrive Tribe, Rhode Island on Taunton Ave in East Providence. The group will be open to 15 people, so there is another link below that you can register online for it. And basically, I'm guiding the group into a past life regression. So if you're, excuse me, curious about who you were in another life, if you have worries or fears that you don't understand where they come from, connections with people, or you're just curious, join us. The class is $40. And like I said, you can register online or at the link below. Excuse me. I think that's my body telling me I need to wrap it up and go lay down and relax. So if you ever have any questions, please email me, send me a message. I'd be happy to assist, and enjoy your June. Hopefully, excuse me, hopefully you'll be able to get some sunshine and some rest. And thank you for all your support. Thank you for listening. And I send you love with heavenly hugs. Bye, friends.